we'll never smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some disease. It's just a cup in time. This song doesn't have to rhyme. Life's all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine. I wanna share a moment, just a second if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. We could share this performance. It's tea time, come sit with me.
Well, welcome guys, Miss Liz in the house, and we are here tonight with Bjorn Leesson, and we're going to talk about his new book, and we're going to bring that up in a little bit. But before we get started, everybody knows how Miss Liz works. I'm going to get you over to Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, all of those good platforms that you guys all know about. Like, follow, and subscribe, and get these tea times out because they all do make a difference, one cup at a time. Let's get started with the disclaimer, and then let's do a little intro, and then let's get Bjorn in here. And we're going to do a good, strong tea tonight. So his tea tonight is Forever Exploring Things. That's the type of tea we're serving tonight in the house with Miss Liz and my guests. So let's get started with disclaimer. Disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Time live show. Miss Liz's Tea Time is a global platform dedicated to sharing real-life stories, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations that inspire awareness, healing, and connection. Miss Liz is going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment during the live broadcast, please grant StreamYard permission to display your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that all the content brought forward during any Tea Time show is presented in good faith. However, discussions may include opinions, beliefs, and perspectives that do not necessarily represent the views of Miss Liz or the Tea Time platform. Information shared by guests is based on their own experiences and is perceived to be accurate at the given time of airing. All guests, viewers, and participants are responsible for using their own judgment when considering any action or decision that may relate to these discussions. Some episodes may cover sensitive topics, including but not limited to trauma, abuse, grief, mental health, and other emotionally triggering subjects. Listeners and viewers' discretion is strongly advised. Tea Time with Miss Liz is an open discussion forum designed to offer insight, inspire awareness, and create connection. It is not a substitute for professional, medical, legal, therapeutical advice. If you require professional support, please seek assistance from qualified professionals and trusted resources in your area. If you have any questions regarding this disclaimer or the content of this discussion, you are welcome to contact me, aka Miss Liz, directly at my email at bookingmissliz@gmail.com or visit my link tree at Miss Liz's Tea Time. By choosing to participate in, comment on, or view these live shows, you acknowledge and accept this disclaimer. Your participation is entirely voluntary. I, Miss Liz, welcomes you to join the conversation with an open heart, and if at any time you feel this platform is not right for you, I respect your wishes and decision and welcome you back whenever you are ready. Tea Time with Miss Liz is serving truth and awareness one cup at a time. Well, welcome everyone to another Tea Time with Miss Liz, where stories spark curiosity, creativity, and connection. Today, I'm delighted to welcome a guest whose mind holds a universe of its own. Bjorn Leesson is a storyteller, lifelong learner, and a creator of the Thalspar's universe. Bjorn is a man who sees fascination in everything: history, the paranormal, astronomy, writing, photography, archaeology, even stock car racing. He reminds us that the world is full of wonder when we are willing to stay curious. From the low country of South Carolina to the worlds he imagines on the page, Bjorn blends knowledge, mystery, and creativity into stories that invite us to explore the unknown with the open minds and brave hearts. So grab your cup and join me in this imaginative and insightful tea time with Bjorn, a man whose curiosity truly knows no bounds. Let me get him in here and let's serve some tea. And if you notice that Miss Liz is having trouble speaking, it's because I'm a one-eared girl tonight. I lost my hearing on my right side. So welcome, Bjorn.
Hey, how you doing? That was a heck of an introduction. I like that guy.
Yeah, who is that guy, right? Well, Bjorn, tell us a little bit who you were as a young guy and who you are now.
It hasn't changed very much, to be honest. I just have always found everything interesting at some level, no matter what it is. If you look hard enough, you can find entertainment in anything, and you can find interest in anything. And I, at some point in my later years, where this turned white, I found a way to put it into stories, and that's been my latest adventure. So yeah, I did stock car racing for a little while with some friends out of high school. Seems like 100 years ago now. Participated in amateur archaeology digs. I love science of all kinds. I find theological discussions interesting. Psychology, I call it anyology. I like all the ologies. Any ology out there, I can find something in it that I that I'm fascinated about.
Like it's the ology.
That's right. All the ologies out there, all of them. Throw them this way.
You know what? I did my homework on you, but the only thing I didn't do my homework on was the stock card racing. I got everything else but that.
No,
So I'll have to get a little bit into that later in the show. I want to bring up your book. So let's get into your book right away. And we have like a lot of questions that I'd like to get out to you. So I'm going to pick your brain. We're going to take you down some rabbit holes tonight. We're going to have some fun. So let me bring up your book. So if you'd like to just explain the cover to the audio listeners who aren't seeing the video, so they can see the colors and the description of the cover and all that good stuff, and a little bit on the story.
All right. Well, this is the sixth installment of the series, Outside the Thouspar, and the books, the covers are fantastic. That's Miss Dina did those for me at ebook builders. They're great covers, but they're different colors just to differentiate them. But they all kind of have I say all, most of them have kind of a historical travel mode, I guess you could say. And there's a lot of ships. This one is yellow with the full moon. All of them have the full moon, kind of a theme throughout. And this one has the bustling ports of New York, but in 1865 and 64 and 63. So the Civil War era. And that's what we're seeing here. And that's because the protagonist in this particular installment, that's her background. That's her backdrop. As she's in the gritty, corrupt and violent backdrop of Civil War era New York.
So you said all the books have the moon on them?
Yeah. Yep. All the books have the full moon. They're different colors. A lot of them have ships from different eras depending on when most of the story takes place. Just a warning to the readers, if you're reading the whole series, there is a lot of time jumping around, so you're not going to stay in one spot very long. My brain's very chaotic, and so is the writing. we go lots of places and lots of times.
You know, I like that because I like time travel. It keeps us on our toes, right? The adventure is there. Like you just never know where you're going. Like, are you going back? You going forward? Do you time travel to the future, or is it all in the past?
It's all the latest era that it shows is the World War II era, so 1940s. But I want to clarify just in case someone's raising an eyebrow about time travel, because I know that's kind of a contentious thing for some writers about putting time travel in stories. There is we'll call it magical or instant time travel a couple times, but most of it is just time jumps. It's just showing different parts of this whole series. The series theoretically takes place over 1,200 years. Now, not every second of that 1,200, of course, but it bounces around in that 1,200-year span, everywhere from the Viking Age up to World War II. So you get to see a lot of my history nerd come out, and yeah, it was great fun to write, and I hope people enjoy it when they read it. It's a little complex story, but it's if you pay attention, I think it's fantastic. It's a great story.
So you got the Viking in you.
Yeah, I got a lot of Norse heritage, and that was part of what played genealogy. Another one of them ologies, genealogy played into it a great deal. When I really started digging into the family tree, I realized that I always knew I had Norwegian. I knew my grandmother was Norwegian, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized way over half of my family tree is Scandinavian. So that kind of led me to start looking at that era of history, and it.
Well, you never know. We might be related because
right.
I have Norwegian blood in me too.
There you go. Where are you at? Are you in?
Small world, right?
Where are you at? What city?
Well, I'm in Cornwall, Ontario, Canada, but my grandma came from Norway, so
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
very likely.
yeah. Well, my great grandma, I should say, my grandma wasn't born in Saskatchewan. My aunts and uncles are going to be Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Get it right.
But here's
Great
some more.
grandma came from Norway.
Well, here's some more history nerd for you. Whether you're looking at it theologically or you're looking at it scientifically, we're all cousins. We're all related somehow. So,
Right? We're all
hey,
brothers and
cousin.
sisters. Right?
Exactly. That's you can't be too hard on your fellow man. They're your family, right?
Absolutely. And I noticed that a lot of people that have the Norwegian blood in them, they like the time travel and the time jump in storytelling as well.
Mm-hmm. Must be a genetic thing.
Right? It has to be.
Well, there was a time where our people were the greatest seafarers in the world. Maybe we just want to go back and visit that time.
That was a good time. I think that was a good time. I think we need to go back.
Minus the violence. But yeah, the traveling was awesome.
Well, I think there was a little action back then, a good fight in us. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're stubborn people.
right? Oh, yeah. That's one thing. Norwegians are stubborn. So we had some questions come in, and I want to get those out to you. The first one is: you spent a lifetime feeding your curiosity with everything from history to astronomy to stock car racing. What sparked your passion for exploration, and how does it shape who you are today?
You said exploration. Well, that was the last thing.
Yeah.
Oh, exploration. Just I don't know. It's just been in me. I mean, I was a curious kid. 100 years ago, I was a curious kid, and a lot of the history came specifically from. I was born. I wasn't born in and raised in Charleston, but we call it Charleston because that's what everyone knows from South Carolina. If you're not from South Carolina, we say Charleston. That's the whole area down there. But it's heavily filled with Civil War history. Obviously, the Civil War started there at Fort Sumter, so that sparked my interest right off. And I just the history just started expanding from there. I know my mom's family was from South Carolina for hundreds of years, since the 1600s. Dad's was from Norway and Sweden, and they came through from. They also came. Well, they came between 1600 and 1800, depending on what line you're talking about. But yeah, it's just in me, just the fascination with everything, the exploration of all topics. I don't even have an idea how to explain it. It's just always been there, and it's a little bit of a family thread. I have an aunt who is the same way. When I started really getting into the family tree, she'd already written a family Bible. I didn't know that, so we got together and compared notes for years, and found all kind of stuff. I found stuff she didn't have. She found stuff I didn't have. So it was fascinating.
It's cool, right? When you start going down the history, because I found a cousin from Norway a couple of years ago, and then we found out that we had two cousins in the States, and then we've all just stayed connected. But the original family came from Norway, so we're all like trying to get together to all go to Norway and check it out, and a big family reunion, right?
Yeah, one day I got to do that. I did go to England. I have a lot of English ancestry too, and I did manage to go to England and spend a lot of time in there, in Scotland and Wales. So that was a blast. So I really do want to hit Norway eventually.
Well, we should all go together, right? Let's all see if we're related. Let's see the family Bible.
We could do that cruise, that follow the Vikings cruise. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get into the paranormal, because a lot of people that come from Norway and that area believe in paranormal a lot. I do as well. So let's get into that. What got you into that, Boyne?
Again, that's just one of those ologies, even though it's not theoretically an ology, but you know what I'm saying. And I got into it to the point I was actually trying to investigate it. I had some of the equipment, like you see on TV, I had some of the equipment. I went on with other groups that did it, and I myself have never seen anything that I can definitively say was paranormal, but there's a lot of strange coincidences. It's awfully hard to explain. And I do know a lot of people that I had trusted implicitly that they're honest people, and they absolutely swear by certain things. And I can't dismiss that. And if you really look at it now, what does man really know? We know about 1% of what we think we know. And whether you believe in an ultimate, an all-powerful God, or whether you don't, the universe is unbelievably complicated, and we don't even know a bit of it. So how is it so easy to dismiss the paranormal? I believe it exists. I don't think I'm sensitive to it. In fact, that same aunt of mine, she is sensitive to it, and she's told me stories. My mom was, so I believe it's there. I just don't think everyone can see it, and I'm unfortunately one of them that can't. But it's there, and and I think it is hard for a reasonable person to say it isn't.
So, Boyne, did you put the paranormal into your storytelling?
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, when I created the main protagonist is named Mariel, the doctor's daughter. She's the Viking that starts the whole series off. Part of my writing style is more storytelling than literary. I'm more of the guy sitting at the campfire telling a story than I am. You're not going to see my books being studied by Cambridge 100 years from now, but it's a hell of a good story. But when I started crafting Mariel, it spawned first from an archaeological discovery. In the 60s, they uncovered a burial mound. I think it was in Sweden or England. I've kind of lost it in my head now because I'm old and can't remember things. But but they found a burial mound somewhere. And when they dug it up in the 60s, they assumed it was male because it was a Viking chieftain. It was somebody that had the grave goods, the swords, and the slaves were buried with them, and the animals and whatnot, and the treasure. So it's somebody of high renown that led warriors into battle and was probably a chieftain. Well, they pulled the bones down, I think in early 2000s, like 2005 or whatever. But they started re-examining the remains and realized, oh my goodness, this isn't a man, this is a woman. So we have a Viking female that was highly regarded as a warrior and as a leader. And I just found that fascinating because that's not at that time. That's, now in a modern mindset, we kind of picture powerful women in positions of authority like that. We're more open to it now. But in the early 2000s, late 1900s, we really didn't think of it that way. It was warriors were men, Vikings were blonde hair, blue eyed, tall men that ran around and killed people with axes, right? But I decided, based on that finding, plus my love of turning expectations on their heads, I decided to make her female. This warrior is going to be female, and she's not going to be blonde hair, blue eyed Viking. She's going to be mixed race. So she's half Moor, which is Northern African, and half Norwegian, or half, well, Norwegian now, but Norse. That was a conscious choice that started off a whole series of upending expectations in this series. Nothing ever happens if you start reading it. Nothing ever happens the way you expect, and nothing ever happens the way we're told to believe things happened. And the great part about it is it's all grounded in fact of some kind. That none of it's okay. There is a little bit of stuff I made up, but in general, a vast majority
of spice in there.
Oh yeah. You gotta have a little bit of artistic license involved. But a vast majority of it is based on some kind of fact. It's stuff that's plausible. So as you're reading the story, you realize how outlandish it might, or not outlandish, but fantastical, I guess. As you're reading it, it's still grounded. I mean, it's still something that could happen. It could actually happen, and you could actually see it happen. So that was the great fun. I think I rambled a little bit on that one.
But that's okay. We can ramble all night long.
Oh, I hope so, because that's the best thing I'm good at is rambling. No, but it was great fun making her, and then I just carried it on. I kept making more interesting characters and more interesting backgrounds and more twists, more little known historical facts that I blew up into a plot point. So it was great fun to write it. That's why it kind of exploded. It was supposed to be a short story about Mariel, but it ended up being an 8 or a 7 book series.
You had a lot to say.
Oh yeah, plus spinoffs coming. So I'm not done. It's going to keep going.
Is there more books coming in the series?
Yeah, there's the last book. I'm kind of waffling on a fence. There's a 7th book. The one you just showed earlier. This book is the 6th book. The 7th book is right now what I vision to be the end. It's the end of the series, but there is an 8th possibility, and I don't know if I want to deconstruct the story I wrote and make it spinoffs, or whether make it the actual 8th installment. I feel like maybe the series should come to the end at 7, so I don't overplay the series. But the great part about it is it's a whole universe, so I can write whatever I want, and it's still within the universe. It's all of creation, so it's awesome.
I think the number 8 and number 8. I don't know why, but the number 8 would be good to finish it.
Okay, you and I are a lot alike then, because I told my editor that, because we talked about ending the series at 7, and then I said I don't like odd numbers, and it's ironic because Mariel, the character, also does not like odd numbers, so I threw a little bit of myself in there. But I told her I got to write an 8th one, and she said do it. But I'm still waffling. I don't know. It may be 8. It may, or that 8th book may become a spinoff instead, like, reconstructed to be a spinoff. But there's more coming either way.
I think a number 8 is good. We have a question that came into the studio. I'm just going to pop it up on the screen here. And it says, what does it take for a writer today to write compelling and successful science fiction and fantasy stories?
To me, and I've said this in other interviews, to me, the most compelling element is you got to have passion. You got to put the passion into the story. My series is a prime example. It doesn't follow any of the literary rules, to be honest. You're supposed to focus on 7 or less characters. Oh no, I blew that up with dozens of characters in each book. You're supposed to stay in one lane on genre. Oh no, we got to have 4 or 5 genres mixed together. I went absolutely bonkers, but it came out great. The reviews are wonderful, but the problem, of course, it creates a marketing issue. So poor Mickey doesn't have a clue how to market this thing, because it's not. It doesn't fit in any box, but it is very entertaining, and the reviews reflect that. People love it. They just don't know what to call it, but they love it. But that's really it to me, is have the passion and put it in the story, but put yourself in the story too. Don't write it as a cold outside observer. Every character in my books, like I say, there's dozens of them. I mean, dozens and dozens of them. And all of them have traits from somebody I know, someone I used to know, myself, family members, all these little quirks and ticks people have in the story. I probably knew somebody that had it, and that's why it's in there now.
I think, Boyne, it's a good thing that you went in all different genres, because then Mickey can just put you in all different genres, right? Instead of one box, you're in like 4 or 5 different boxes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope so, because he's the man. I'm not. I don't know how to market anything. I just know how to write stuff.
I just do the universal stuff.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, but that's really it to me, is the passion and put life into it. I mean, there are pure fantasy books, of course. I'm that's not my thing, but there are pure fantasy books, and that's a different approach. But for historical fantasy fiction, like the general umbrella of what my books fall under, it's passion and put life into it, put real life into it. That really makes the reader feel like they're standing there in the snow with Mariel fighting or whatever's happening.
Good snowball
Great
fight.
Oh yeah. I don't have one in there yet. I might throw one in now. Thank you.
There you go, book 8.
The snowball fight
with snowballs.
The great snowball fight. It's on the way. The supernaturally animated snowman. Wow, they make movies about that though.
Throw the tea bag in, throw the snowballs.
There you go. Perfect. The Earl Grey snowball fight.
Right? I think that's a Norwegian thing too, the snow.
Oh yeah.
We like the cold. We just like to fight that battle.
Well, you bring up something very interesting. Before I really knew a lot about my background, my history, my family history when I was young, I'm born and raised in South Carolina. South Carolina to me is like maybe 7 degrees cooler than hell itself. It's just hot all year, even in winter, it seems like. And I've always hated it. I sweat at 70 degrees. It's miserable. Then I realized the reason. My genetic code is set up for cold weather. That's why. Even though I'm born and raised here, it's still hot. I don't like it. And I love snow. I don't want to drive in snow, but I love looking at it and messing around in it. I just don't want to drive in
it. Oh, come on. You got to have that little drive in you to drive in the snow.
No, I'm done.
Skidoo there. Boy, you get on the skidoo and you'll do awesome.
No, I've driven in snow. I just don't like driving. It's creepy. I'm not used to it.
Creepy. Oh, I've never
Well, a
heard
little
of snow
creepy.
being creepy.
Well, it's creepy how the truck moves, because I have a truck. I have no weight in the back, so everything makes it break loose. It's not fun.
Get in the truck. uh, question here for paranormal. When you look at the paranormal, what do you think people misunderstand most? The fear, the phenomenal, or the meaning behind it?
Of the paranormal,
Yeah.
I think I think it's an innate fear of what we don't understand, and that's not just paranormal. That's anything, people that are scared to go up on stage and talk in front of a crowd. It's the same. It's the same base instinct that man has or humans have is fear of the unknown or fear of uh, consequences of the unknown, I guess. But I have a little bit of that. I don't believe in provoking spirits. If you're in a position where you're with spirits, don't provoke them. You see some of the outlandish TV shows where they go and scream at the ghost and make them do things. It was probably fake anyway, but I mean, if you ever find yourself in that position, please don't yell at the ghost. Just don't do it. We don't know what they can do.
You don't know where they're coming from. They might
Right?
have a
Yeah.
secret weapon.
Yeah, maybe it's best just to have a nice, gentle conversation. Say, hey, if you don't mind, would you please not make so much noise at night, or something.
So you're the kind guy with the ghost.
Yeah. And if the ghost ends up being malicious and demonic, then move. Don't stay there.
Run.
Yeah, just move on. Find something else to do. Not that.
So, Boyd, have you ever experienced something that you couldn't logically explain, and did it change the way you see the world?
In a way, I did say earlier, I've never experienced anything I could definitively say as absolute proof that the paranormal exists, but there have been things. I did participate on a investigation of a Civil War era plantation home. Of course, it's been abandoned for years, but I went with a group that was restoring it, and they brought in a team of investigators, and I was asked to join them as a guest investigator, and I was happy to do it. My equipment didn't catch anything unusual. A lot of dust particles. Everybody talks about orbs. I'm not convinced orbs are any more than dust. But one thing that their equipment picked up was another voice that shouldn't have been there saying my name. So that was a little creepy. and I could only come to one conclusion when they shared it with me. I said, well, either these people are complete charlatans and they put it in there, or it's absolutely real. It can only be one of two things. So that was pretty, I guess, creepy. It was a little bit of adrenaline rush when I heard it. Other than that, there was a photo. I was part of a cemetery cleanup crew. There was an old cemetery near where I lived at the time that was overrun with the forest. The wilderness had taken it back over. And I was with a group that wanted to clean it up. We went and cleaned it up. But of course, as we're cleaning it, we're taking pictures. And I'm telling you, this picture was shocking. It was clearly to me, and most people saw it the same way that were in our group. It was a very faded, very faint outline of a man, a woman, and a child standing at the fence that was like 30 feet away from where we were working. And they clearly weren't there. I mean, we did, they were old fashioned clothes. You could barely see cover all day. It was impressive. I said, okay, again, this is either completely fake or completely real. It can't be in between. There's no misjudging what we're seeing here. It's gotta be, yeah, it was, but those are the two most, I think. Yeah. I've kind of moved on from it some. I still find it interesting, but I don't really actively pursue it anymore. I think that in a way, it almost needs to just occur. It needs to come to you in a natural way. I don't think forcing it is the way to go. Just like I was making jokes earlier about screaming at the ghosts, kind of in the same realm of thought. The same thought process. If you're going to experience it, it probably should just happen organically. Don't run around trying to find it.
Right? Don't chase it.
Right. Yeah, I think, for scientific purposes, maybe, but just to do it, maybe not.
So we have some questions here on the cosmos and mystery of existence. Do you believe the universe is more magical, mathematical, or mysterious?
I think it's going to end up being a blend of all of them if we ever get to the point we can actually understand it. Right now, we're light years from that, I think, as humans. But I think in the end, and I'm actually writing one of the spinoffs I was telling you about. Actually, I'm writing like 5 of them at the same time. So this is one of the 5 I'm writing, but it actually addresses that in a way. It talks about the ability to calculate what I call the song, which is the fabric of existence, and being able to calculate it with math. And it involves a gifted young woman that's agoraphobic, and she's very she has anxiety hangups and social hangups real bad. And in the story, it shows her progression. But part of her ability, she creates her own discipline of math, higher mathematics, and she's able to actually decode the fabric of the universe. And it plays into this whole big story I won't share right now, but but the question is timely, actually, because I'm actually writing a story about that. I think we're going to find that all of it connects. I think magic is math, math is magic. I think it's all going to end up connecting, and we can't visualize it now, where our brains aren't evolved enough for that yet. But I think one day, somehow, some way, we'll see it. I think it'll be a combination of everything we think we know plus stuff we don't know. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Well, we have another question here. If the cosmos could speak, what do you think it would tell us about our purpose here?
It's a good question. I don't know that we have it. I don't know that there is an answer to that. I think it's unknowable. If you're religious, God's plan is unknown. If you're not religious, the plan's still unknown because we don't know it. I don't know that I think we'll have to transcend past our form that we're in now, our physical form in the living world, to understand it, if even then. So I think seeking the purpose of the universe is probably pointless. I don't think we'll ever understand it completely.
What theories about the universe excites you the most? The multiverse, ancient astronauts, cosmic consciousness, or something else?
Oh, all of it. All of it's interesting.
All of it. All of the above.
All of it. All of it. I mean, it's all fascinating to me. The ancient aliens theory, I think that's what they're referring to, ancient aliens. It's hard. Again, I'm one that I have a scientific mind, but I also have a gut. I trust my gut feelings too, and that's hard to separate. A scientist rarely goes on gut feeling; they go on science. And somebody who's purely intuitive doesn't put any stock into science. So I'm kind of a mix of the two, which probably explains why my brain never shuts off. But yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question. I do. I think it's all of it's is the same amount of interesting to me. But ancient astronauts is hard to say that they absolutely don't exist. There's too much evidence, circumstantial evidence, I'll admit, but there's too much evidence to say there's nothing to it. Just in our life, or in my lifetime anyway, and when I was coming up, there were no other planets. There was the 9, because I still count Pluto. I don't care what anybody says, Pluto's still a planet. That's how I was raised. Pluto's a planet. It's the 9th planet. But there were none outside of our 9 planets. Well, in the 90s, we started finding other planets. Now we have a confirmed, I don't know, it's in the thousands. I'm not sure how many they confirmed. But there's thousands of planets, and they're all around the sun like ours. It's a star that, just like ours, or different than ours, but it's a sun, and different compositions. And it's hard to sit here and say that there's absolutely no chance any of them have life on them. I think that's kind of a ridiculous idea, in my opinion. So how many of those thousands, probably, well, in the end, it's going to be billions. How many of those billions of planets will it be but to have life on it? I mean, it could be thousands of them. And to say that none of them have achieved the ability to come here is, again, I think unrealistic to even believe that. So, yeah, all of it.
So, Bjorn, what is your favorite genre to write? I know you go into a lot of different genres. So what is your favorite one?
I don't know, because I blend them all. I never stick with just one. I did try to write a short story. I did write a short story, and I shared it with some close friends. I haven't published it, but it's a Western. It's a pure Western. But even the Western is not just a Western, because it dips into geopolitics. It talks about the Irish struggle against English rule in the Old West. It just dips into everything. I can't stay in one genre. But I like to dip my toes in all of them, and I don't know that I have a favorite. I think the supernatural typically pops its head into all of them at some point, so I guess I'll have to say the supernatural. Ghost stories, I used to write ghost stories just for fun. I never published any of them, but yeah, I think it would have to be the paranormal then if I had to just pick one.
So, Brian, how old were you when you started writing?
I can't even remember. It was I remember winning some awards in grade school for writing. I mean, of course, that's not it's not something you hang on the wall and say, "Look, I'm an author." But I mean, I did win awards for it. So all the way back then, for sure. I did do technical writing for many, many years. I did that part of my job in various factories I've worked at. As because I had a knack for writing, I always ended up being the one to write the work instructions, write the SOPs, all that stuff. So I did just strictly technical writing for a good while, many years. And I did write some historical nonfiction, mainly about a lot of the unknown stories of the Charleston Civil War era. Just a lot of those stories that most people don't know about. I wrote those and they were published. I didn't get paid for it. I just did it for the prestige of saying I did it, but it was published in a Civil War I don't think it's around anymore, but it was a Civil War newspaper that used to circulate, Civil War history newspaper. But
you never know what people will find.
yeah, that's true.
Pull up some old stuff, and you'll be like, "What? You found it?"
You never know; it's possible. I don't.
Right?
They were strict. They were strictly print though, so I don't know that any of their stuff's digitally anywhere. It might be by now.
Well, I want to talk about is it Thouspare universe?
Yeah, the Thouspar. Yep.
What sparked the first seed of the Thouspar universe? A moment, question, or feeling?
I think it was just organically a feeling as I was writing Mariel. I think it started with her ability, which is a strange mix of dark and light that she could use either as a destructive force or as a benevolent force. So she had to learn to control it. And of course, the way my brain works, it doesn't just stop there. It wants to expand on that. So now we're going into, well, why does she have this power? Where it come from? Okay, now we've got the supernatural beings that are involved with this, putting the power in her. Well, why are they putting the power? And then that grew into this cosmic struggle between light and dark, and how it endangers the living world, and how all these people play the part in saving it. And over 1,200 years, yeah, it just my brain works like that. It just doesn't stop at one. There's no hard stop. It just keeps wanting to go and go and go until I burn out on it.
So how many books are you writing at one time?
Right now I got 5 started. And what I do is typically if I start getting kind of deadlocked on one, I'll just skip to another one. And then by the time I get somewhere on that one, I'm ready to go back to this one. So, I have about 5. I wrote this series, if you count 1 through 7, and the spinoff that's actually finished. I just don't know when I want to time releasing that one. I want to do it after the series is all the way out. But so 8 books in about 2.5 years, and that's just wide open writing story.
Wow. So we have a question here. Your imagination blends reality and the unknown. How do you balance facts, history, and pure imagination when you're building worlds?
Ooh, that's it. It just kind of has to be a. I think I read somewhere I was kind of trying to figure out where do I classify? What is the classification of my writing? And it's really more storytelling than writing, but it's storytelling on this vast scale and multiple layers. I don't. It almost just has to be in you. I think. I don't. A lot of the sources I've read said it's not something you learn particularly. It's just an ability you have. Kind of like some of the great actual writers out there. I mean, they just have this ability to. It just falls together for them. I don't really have a formula for it. I really don't. I just. It's all organic. When I first started writing the first book, I will admit, I tried sticking to this strict outline. Okay, here's my outline. I stay in this lane. If I deviate, I got to stop and back up and try it again. I can't deviate this story because that's the technical writing part of me. But as I kept going, I said, I'm fighting myself and I'm stifling the story. So I started just removing a lot of those obstacles and say, okay, let's just let Mariel write her own story and see where she takes us. And in the organic version turned out much better. I mean, you can see in my opinion, I hope I don't turn people off by saying this from reading it, but the first books are a lot less compelling than the later books. So that's just showing my growth because this is new to me. I mean, the book one, Runes of the Doctor's Daughter, was the first true serious attempt I made at writing fiction, fantasy. So you'll see as you read, if you stick with the story, which I feel you will because it's a great story, it gets better and better as it goes. And a lot of that's because of just my learning. You know, I learned how to manage the story better, learn how to manage the characters better, and it's just awesome. But a lot of those little tricks are just innate. I mean, it just got to be in you. A lot of it can't be learned. It's just something you have in your brain already.
So when you mentioned that as you're writing each book, you're growing as well. So what are you
Oh, yeah.
seeing in each book that you're like, whoa, I didn't see that in book one. How come I see that in book 2, 3, 4, 5?
I think my ambition grew, to be honest. As I wrote those books, they got more and more complex. And I did worry about it being too complex, as I constantly bounced off my editor, Andrea. I always said, if this is over the top, tell me. You know, don't tell me, yeah, it's good, and pat me on the head. Just if it's ridiculous, please tell me. You know, in my mind, it's great because I wrote it, but I need an outside opinion to tell me, okay, I think you mixed way too many things in one story. You know, and so far it's panned out well, but each time I throw in more stuff. But it's been balancing, it's been working. So I'm not sure when I'll hit that wall where there's too much stuff in one story and I've overextended my ability, but we'll see.
So Mike, do you think that your writing style is like stock car racing?
It's fast, I do know that. That's one. It's been a critique and a compliment at the same time. So the readers who like fast paced novels, they love mine because they literally are breakneck speed, and it sometimes it turns people off. It's too fast. There's no breathing room. But that's just how my mind works, and it's almost like a movie playing in my head, like a cinematic film, you know, playing in my head, and that's how I write it. So it's really more of a screenplay almost with novel clothes on. You know, it's more of a screenplay about the story you see in your brain, and it is fast. Some people don't like that, some people do. So in a way, yeah, it's stock car racing, I guess.
I had to bring stock car in somehow, or it's just like, how
Well,
do I bring it in? Pay attention,
thankfully,
Liz. You got this.
thankfully, I feel like my storytelling is better than my stock car driving was. It was fun. I enjoyed the hell out of stock car driving, but I wasn't necessarily good at it. I just loved it, and it was quite expensive.
You see how I slid that in, right? I
Oh
had to
yeah,
get
yeah,
that
yeah.
stock car in there somewhere. And you're just like, where am I getting this in?
No, it was great fun. I enjoyed. That was in the mid '90s when I was doing that. I was on a crew for my friend. My friend had a stock car at the local racetrack, and I worked on his crew for I think 5 years.
Oh.
And then me and my dad decided, let's do it. So we bought us a Camaro, a '78 Camaro, and we built it into a stock car, and we raced it around. Like I say, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I don't know. I necessarily was not good at it, but I enjoyed it. It was the
I'm a car
experience.
junkie, so that's a nice car. Like that's a nice one.
You know what was terrible about it was it was a very famous track in for us, locally famous. It's gone now. It's a neighborhood, unfortunately. But the 78 style of Camaro, you know, they didn't vary very much for several years in that period. And unfortunately, at one time there was tons of them, and junkyards were full of them, so you can go get parts anytime you wanted. But the more people used those as race cars, the more those parts disappeared, and it got to where you couldn't find stuff anymore. So we tried to switch tactics and go to a 4-cylinder instead of 8-cylinder. We went to a smaller division and tried to use a Mustang 2, but the same thing. That's what everybody used. So all those parts started disappearing. And finally, we gave up on it because it honestly was a extremely expensive hobby. The cost outweighed the fun after a while. We had to stop, but it was great fun while we were doing it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big junkie on cars. If you want to take me out to a car show, because I'm just like, that's better than roses and wine and dine me. Just take me to a car show. I
Oh
like to
yeah.
see the motors. I like to see the character and the art to the cars back in the day, right? You don't see that
Oh yeah.
artwork anymore.
I,
Like,
I I don't know if it's just because I'm getting to be an old goat now or what, but when I look at cars now, they all look the same to me, and I
yeah,
don't know if it's just me
there's
or
no uniqueness to them anymore.
right.
They're
They
all the
all.
same box.
I'm gonna tell an embarrassing story about myself. You'll enjoy this one, and it relates to cars. My wife is a big fan of buying a new car every 2 or 3 years. I don't know what she's one of those people that has to have a new car. I buy a car, I drive it till it doesn't drive anymore, and then I get another one. And I never buy them new. I buy used cars, drive it till it doesn't work, and get another one. That's just their transportation to me. That's it. Uh, we debated about her getting another car. I kept trying to argue. Look, we're trying to pay off all the bills. We want to be debt free in 4 years or whatever. Let's hold off on that. The car's still good. There's nothing wrong with it. Yada yada yada. One day she comes home, and I was staying on the porch, and I looked at the car. Something seemed odd about the car, but I wasn't sure. It was the same color. It was the same general shape, but the hubcaps were different.
Oh,
And then I realized it's a different car. It was a whole different car, but it looked exactly the same as the car she had before.
that's
It was
what I
a
find. I find there's no uniqueness to any of the
right.
cars. They all look the same. Like
Yeah,
they
her
all have
first.
that round fit. Like, I don't know. There's no uniqueness to the cars anymore.
No, you're right, and that's why I didn't even know. I mean, maybe you could say I'm oblivious. Maybe I'm getting oblivious in my elder years. But I mean, I looked. It was a Kia when it left, and it came back a Honda. But it looked the same to me. It was the same car, except it had different hubcaps on it.
Different emblems in the front.
Right? Yeah. But
Let's
I'm
just
with
change
you.
that.
They all look the same. I don't know. They just look the same to me.
I like the long hoods, like the older cars that had the
Oh
longer
yeah, yeah, yeah,
hoods
yeah.
or the long ends. Like, and
And
they were sturdy. They were heavy. Like
yeah, they
my
had
first car was
substance.
a Pontiac, a 1986 Pontiac
There you
Peacock
go.
green.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was nice with the wood and everything inside. Oh, it was nice.
Yeah, they had character. They were different. They were different from each other. Now they all look exactly the same.
Yeah,
And
now they're
like
all
you
black and
said,
white.
well, you brought up like the substance behind them. Yeah, I mean, originally they were made out of metal, and they were you felt safe in them. You know, if I end up in an accident, I'm not. It's not going to fall into a million pieces around me. I don't feel that way now. They don't feel that way anymore. Now I'm worried they're going to crumble up like a ball of paper.
Well, Boyne, I got some lightning questions here for you. I want to get them out to you.
Okay.
Your favorite color is gray. So, what does gray feel like to you?
Gray is multi-utilitarian. I like gray because it goes with anything. I don't have my gray flannel on. Usually I wear my gray flannel for these things, but it's multi-utilitarian. You can use it for anything. Gray works for everything. It can be conceivably used to absorb heat and deflect it depending on how you arrange it. I mean, yeah, it's just like the perfect color.
You're the first guest in all of my shows, over 500 shows, that has given me gray for favorite color.
Well,
That's like interesting.
Well, gray gets a bad rep. Okay, gray. Everyone thinks gray. Oh, it's gloomy. Look at the gray sky. It's going to rain. Okay, well, rain brings life to the planet, but it's not gloomy. It's a good color. It gets a bad rep. I defend gray to my dying breath.
I like it. And the word that you gave me for yourself is complicated. What's so complicated about you, Boyne?
Because my brain, it just goes in 1,000 directions. It feels like there's 20 people in there. I had a coworker years ago. I've told this story on another interview, but I feel like it should be repeated. Years ago, I worked with a gentleman. We were both supervisors in the same factory, but he was in a different department. But we used to smoke out in front of the plant at the smoke table. We sit there and just chit chat. And one day, I don't even remember what it was talking about, but I was just rambling on about disjointed topics, just rambling. And he finally looked at me. He goes, "How many people are in there?" I said about 7. 3 are asleep and 4 are awake at all times.
Well, see, you're good. You don't need company. You got company.
That's right. I got all 7 of me. I'm good.
You don't have to worry about going out. They're all there.
That's
Come and
right.
have tea at any time.
Well, some like coffee, some like tea. Yeah.
Are you a tea or coffee drinker?
Mainly coffee. I that's a genetic trait from my dad. He was old Navy guy, and I drink coffee all day long. Summer, winter, doesn't matter.
Oh, so you're a coffee drinker.
But I do like
Hmm.
tea. But I do like tea. I do like Earl Grey, which is in this cup. This cup has Earl Grey. This cup has coffee. See, so I have a little.
Oh,
of
so
both.
you're double dipping.
I am. I can't completely push the coffee aside. I do like tea, but coffee is my go-to.
Double dippers. One word that defines your curiosity.
Everything, just everything out there. I could find interest in anything. I could look at some kind of widget that like a part that I find in the plant I work at. I could pick it up and start looking at it. It just start imagining how it was made, what it's for, even though I have no idea what it is, what I can use it for if I take it home. You know, there's all kinds of stuff. And again, that comes from my dad. I went to visit him in his workshop one day. He had a workshop in his backyard, and as we were talking about something completely different, I picked a part up that he had sitting on his he had a drawing board that he would draw up prints and stuff. And I picked this thing up and started messing with it. And then I finally looked at him. I said, "What is this? What is this thing?" He said, "I don't know, but I didn't have one." So, so he bought it because he didn't have one. And that's kind of how my brain works. It's the same way. I just, okay, that's cool. What does this thing do? Let's make up a story if I don't know.
So did you ever figure out what it does?
No, I never did. I never saw it again. I don't know what he did with it.
He got rid of it.
Well, knowing him, he probably fashioned it into something else completely different that it wasn't supposed to be. But yeah.
A favorite moment from your hobby farm life.
Oh, the funniest one was when we have goats. They're supposed to be debudded, meaning they don't have horns. They treat them when they're babies. They basically burn the base of where the horn would grow from to kill the cells so it won't grow horns. It's called debudding. It's not as bad as it sounds. It sounds horrible, but it's not as bad. They do shoot them with Novocaine first. But one of my goats has decided he doesn't care that they've done that. He's going to grow horns anyway. So he's got full horns.
Oh.
He headbutted something. I'm assuming another goat or maybe the fence. Who knows? But he broke one of the horns off, and the bloody stump was there. And then me and the wife said, "Okay, well, we got to fix that. We got to put it's not iodine, but it's some kind of medicinal, like a spray, kind of an antiseptic spray where we want to put on it. It's blue. It's like heavy, deep blue color." And of course, the goat is a goat. He's not going to participate. He's not going to go quietly. He's going to fight us the whole way. I said, "Okay, let's go take two people." I'm not at my playing weight anymore. I'm a little chubby, and I'm not real athletic as I maybe once was. And I told her, "Okay, I'm gonna grab the goat and hold him. He's likely gonna butt me in the face and bust my face up. He's done it before." I said, "But I'm gonna hold him, and you spray this stuff on his horn, on the horn piece that's sticking up." And I ended up wrestling this goat. I don't know if you've ever did you watch WWF years ago, like Hulk Hogan? And
Yeah.
it was like that, but a lot sadder. And he beat me because he pinned me to the ground somehow. And when she sprayed it right in my beard. So my beard was blue. And blue antiseptic spray does not wash out of beards very well. So so I had to make up a story where I went to work the next day because I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it all the way out. They still had a blue like tint to it. I just told them I ate Smurfs and see what they say with that one, you know. But but long story short, that goat pretty much whipped my tail. We did finally get the spray on his horn, but it was a battle.
And he won.
Maybe a tactical draw, but it did end up on his horn, yeah. But luckily the neighbors weren't out. The neighbors were across the woods, but they could see us from, if they go into the woods, they could see us from their house. And luckily they weren't out there because I'm pretty sure it'd have been on YouTube by now.
Would have been one of those family, what is that? Funniest videos there.
Yeah, the funniest home videos.
Boy, the strangest ology you've studied.
Probably vexillology, the study of flags, believe it or not. I've actually, I studied the construction of flags, the fly, the cantor, the whole thing. I've forgotten a lot of it by now because it turns out your brain's like a hard drive. Once you run out of space, you just start pushing crap out the way to put more stuff in there. So a lot of that's gone because I haven't done it in years. But yeah, even the construction of flags is fascinating to me. The history of flags, all the way back to when it was just basically a piece of bark with some primitive paint on it. That was a flag, so to speak. And the uses of them, the Army has a whole signal corps, not really anymore because we have digital now, but in the past, the signal corps was nothing but flag waving. You know how like young ladies do flag dancing now?
Oh,
that
yeah.
was kind of how the military used to communicate on the battlefield. They basically flag danced and used all these different flags to communicate troop movements and stuff. I mean, all of it. It's all fascinating to me, but that's probably the weirdest one. Most people think it is.
Now you got me doing homework for flags.
Yeah, there you go. It's amazing the stuff humans have come up with that we have largely forgotten at this point. But yeah, we've done all kind of weird things.
I think it's nice to bring the flags back though, because a lot of people, when I did the flags on the posters in season 3 and 4, were like, "What country is that?" And I was like, "Really? We don't know our flags anymore. Like, we're not studying that in school." Like,
well, they changed so much too. I mean, now South Carolina's flag has it, but a lot of the states have changed their flags a few times since the beginning. So it is something you got to keep up with.
So, a place in history you'd love to visit?
A place in history?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's a very hard question to ask. I don't know.
You gotta go down the rabbit hole with me once in a while there, boy.
Because all of them are awesome in some way, I mean, I'm kind of just throwing a random guess out there, to be honest, but the Scottish clans resisting English rule, I think, is a fascinating. That was many centuries now. That wasn't like that's not a pinpointed time frame, but the idea of fighting for independence of a country is always fascinating me. Like our independence from Britain, English or Irish and Scottish resistance to British rule. I mean, all of that, and a lot of that finds its way into my story too. Not necessarily heavy plot points, but just backdrop for some things. It's in there. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I guess I would say the Scottish resistance to English rule, I guess.
So, if anybody wanted to find your books, where could they find your books, and how could they reach you?
My website is the best place to go. It's kind of the hub for everything. Now it's being redesigned. So right now, if you go, you're going to say, it looks like a kid made this, and that it is because I made it. But I do have a professional rebuilding it now, but it's thalspar.com. So THALSPARR.com. And there you can find all the links to the books. They're on Amazon. That's probably the best place to go find them. There's little tidbits for the readers of the series. I plan on putting a lot more. There's going to be some free things on there, like audio books, short stories that I've written, like the Western I was talking about. I'm going to redo that one and offer it as a free offering. Maybe one day merchandise. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, it's the best place to go. It's the hub.
So can you just spell out your website? I want to put it up on the screen for the viewers.
Okay, it's THALSPARR.com. Thalspar.
I'm just going to pull it up so that we can. Oh, did I spell it wrong? I will get it into the show notes.
I may have spelled it wrong.
The only thing I found on you was LinkedIn. And I was just like, I can't find this man anywhere. I can find your books, but I can't find you. So I found your LinkedIn. But I will get your website up into the show notes and all that good stuff for all the viewers and listeners out there.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that.
So when's the next book coming out?
It will be, I don't remember the exact day, but it's going to be March 2026. And that'll be book 7 called Rune of Building. And it's the second part of the series that focuses on a protagonist named Josephine. And she is a very dark character. She's very different than all the others. The others have their moral ambiguity and they have their flaws. But she is very dark. But she is a good guy in the end, but she is a very dark character. So be ready for that. And it's very gritty New York. Like I said, it starts in New York. It ends up in the old Western frontier, but it's not one you want to read to the kids. It's pretty dark.
Not for the kids.
No, it's pretty dark. So a lot of mature themes in it, but it's not dirty, but just mature. You know, a lot of mature themes throughout. I'll just leave it there.
So, Boyne, do you have any final words for the listeners tonight?
I just, I guess the best thing I could say, and it's kind of self-serving, is look for different stuff. You know, yeah, there's a lot of the same stuff out there, and there's a lot of good same stuff. Look for different stuff, and I believe I've hit on a good combination with mine. It's a little bit of everything. If you're like me and you're interested in everything, and everything has some sort of piques your interest in some way, I believe this is a very cleverly crafted version of my head, which is a mix of everything. So look for the unusual. Look for the unusual. Don't stick with the mundane.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just going to do a closing summary, and then we're going to wrap it up. And I'll be back again next week, Tuesday and Thursday, with 2 new tea times. And we'll be wrapping up November, and then we'll be hitting into December. And Miss Liz is already booking for next season. So look forward to all those different incredible tea times that are coming. But tonight, what a captivating tea time this has been with Bjorn Leesson. His presence reminds us that curiosity is not just a trait, it's a compass. And the more we allow ourselves to explore, question, and imagine, the more alive we become. Bjorn shows us that the world is layered, past, present, and the mysteries in between. And that storytelling is where layers finally meet. As you move through your day, take a moment to ask yourself, what wonders have I stopped noticing, and what part of my imagination am I ready to wake up again? Thank you, Bjorn, for pouring a cup of filled with fascination, wisdom, and the spirit of endless discovery. Your stories remind us that learning isn't a task, it's an adventure. And I'll see everybody same time, same place, and we'll do this all over again.
Thank you.